Hello scrapbooking friends, and thank you for joining me for another process video. So today I am working on another layout documenting the the South lighthouse sculpture trail, which was here on the Isle of Wight and over in Southampton in the summer. I've documented it a couple of times already, and this is my top 10 grid. So this layout is for Scraptember prompt or day 18 multi-photo. I'm doing 10 photos, very small photos, not even 3x4, half the size of that. So is that 1.5 by 2, something like that, which would be half of 3x4. So yeah, that's what I'm doing today, and I'm documenting my top 10, excluding my very favourite Isle of Wight sculpture and my very favourite Southampton sculpture, because I've already documented them. So yeah, originally I was thinking I'd document my top 10 that I hadn't already documented, but I noticed that one of these ones is one of the island sculptures, which was on my previous layout, and then I kept looking at this one, which I really like a lot, but I just couldn't. I had to do He's a Keeper. I had to put He's a Keeper in, because just like really nice one, even though I have documented that in the photo with Stephanie, the selfie photo with Stephanie. But actually you'll see here what one of my ideas for this layout. So how to put the name of the sculpture onto the layout. One of my ideas was to do this, like stamp it onto tracing paper and then staple it onto the actual photo. And then another idea was to cover the photo like this with the tracing paper and do the title on here, and then just one staple so that you could lift it up, or something, you know, like a eyelet or something, or a brad, so that you could turn it around and see the picture or lift it. But I just didn't like the look of that on the layout. So the problem that I've got is that some of the titles are really long, but what I'm going to do is shorten the title of the layout of the lighthouse to what I can fit in, and I think what I'm going to do is just stamp it directly onto the page. So again, I've got Simple Stories, Simple Vintage Seas collection, die cuts, foam stickers, chipboard pieces, decorative brads, pattern paper. This one is called By the Sea, with that lovely pattern on the other side, which I'm not sure I think I've used that for layout already. So yeah, again, as before, throw in all of the embellishments at this layout, as many as I possibly can from that collection, because yeah, it's going to be difficult to use them up once I finish documenting about the lighthouses. Obviously I did buy the collection originally to document you know, seaside, beach, that kind of thing, but I haven't done a lot of that documenting. So yeah, I've still got a lot of the collection left. I'll show you my little baggie in a minute of what I've got. So I've already had a look at this and kind of put these in order. They're not in any particular order, but it's how when I was prepping the layout, it was just the order that I put them in. They're not in order of favourite or anything like that. So what I need to do is probably pop these ones very close to the top. I think I'd still like to get that bird in there, even though I'll be stamping over it a little bit, but leave a gap. And I've already done I've used my metal ruler and drew some lines across here, because I'm going to do the journaling there, and I thought it would be really difficult to do that after I'd put all the embellishments down. So I've got these die cuts here. I've raised 2 on foam. I've raised this little die cut on foam, and then I've got a little collection here of the die cuts and the brads, and I've raised that one on foam. And then I've got this red baker's twine, which I've used to poke through the whole of that tag, and I saved a bit in case I wanted to thread some around this little section here. I've not decided on that yet, but this is how I'm going to do the grid. This one is a little bit long. I think I'm just going to trim a little bit off the bottom of that one. I don't think they're all the same. I don't think they're all the same size. I've just kind of done them and printed them in the small size and cut them down if need be to make them, you know, just to make them fit either on trim the side or the top, but they all look pretty similar. I quite like the idea of this one, just that bird just taking off from the top of that lighthouse there. And then I need room underneath each one to do a little bit, tiny bit of stamping, including these two here, which, yeah, I haven't left, because I've done a line there. I haven't left a lot of room for that, have I? I don't want to move that up because of that little bird. I mean, obviously it's a busy background pattern paper and lots of things are getting covered up, but I just really like the look of that little bird there. Might have to just, you know, I've got more room here. Oh, am I just going to have to just go for it and cover the birdie? Because I do need a little bit of room here for the stamping. Now then, I've got all these bits of sea fauna. I think if that's what you call it, I'm not sure. And as I've done already on previous layouts, I'm just going to layer it all up. And because I've got this bit here that says whale of a time, I picked this one out with a whale, so I'm using another whale. I'm not over keen on the crabs. Don't really like the crabs in the collection. So yeah, don't think I'm gonna cover that over. I'm not worried about seeing the crab, but I want to see the whale. I did have a photo of me taken with a crab mascot at Isle of Wight Day last year, and I did get as far as prepping a layout using all the little crabs to make that layout, but then in the end I just didn't like the photo, so I didn't document it. But that would have been probably maybe the only way to use the crab, apart from, you know, like on a beach scene. But like I said, I really like it. It's not like a cute crab, is it? It's a bit terrifying, to be honest. I don't think I'll be using those. So anyway, as I'm jabbering on there, I'm just sort of placing things how I think I want them on here. But my big problem is the stamping, isn't it? I've made a little note here of all the names of the lighthouses here, and as you can see, Fred Olsen, unlike any other holiday, is the longest one. That's this one, and I'm just going to call it Fred Olsen. And then we've got How the Heck Did That Get Here, which is this one, so I think I'm just going to call that How the Heck. And then we've got Treasures of the South, which is this one. I might just call it Treasures. The others are not too bad with the length of the titles. This one's called The Amazing House. I might just call it Amazing. Yeah, he's a keeper. Or I could just call that Keeper. This one's called Light. This one's called. Oh, I've got those the wrong way around actually. That's the Fred Olsen one. This one's called Light of Green. So yeah, I'm going to use the smallest stamp set. This one. It's the one I've been using quite a bit. Now then, do I stick these things down first, or do I stick the photos and do the stamping? I'm going to stick the photos and do the stamping because these ones here will be stuck down with glue. So they're going to not stay in place, are they, if I nudge them by mistake when I'm trying to do the stamping. I've said already that I don't think the photos are all the same size. So yeah, I'm just going to place them down as how I like, you know, the look of them. Get these ones down first. Shame about that seagull, that I really wanted to show that. Really wanted to see that. But yeah, if I want to make it look right with adding the, I'm covering that one, with adding the titles of each lighthouse. When I was planning the layout, I sort of wasn't really thinking about adding the titles of each lighthouse, but then I thought, oh, I probably should really. Someone's gone to a lot of effort to design them. And I had the app on my phone, but I deleted the app. I don't know why. I deleted it a bit prematurely, really, because I thought, oh, you know, it's taking up space on my phone, and I don't need it anymore because the trail's over. All the lighthouses have been sold and everything. But then I thought, oh, well, you know, at least I could have sort of kept looking at it and checking the names and everything. But what I did in the end was I looked at the map. The paper map here has got the names of all the lighthouses in it. So I use that to come up with the names. I did have a look at the, they have got an active Facebook page, which is still a little bit active. And you can kind of search on there, but I couldn't find this one actually. Couldn't find this one on there. Even though I did a search for like maize and everything. It must have been on there somewhere. They must have featured it at some point, but I couldn't find it. Right, does that look okay? I know they're not exactly straight, but I don't think the lines are straight either. So we need room underneath to do the title. That's the octopus. How the heck? Beautiful oceans. There. That is placed down. It's not a very, very sticky glue. You know, you can reposition the things for a while before it kind of sets, you know what I mean. So this one is called Solent Ships, and this, yeah, I really like this one. So I'm not, like I've said, I think I've said, I'm not going to stamp all of them on camera because I really don't think you want me to do that. And if I make a mistake, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Might have to use gesso and just, you know, go with it. It's very hard to see where to stamp because they are the wood mounted stamps. Said it before. I like wood mounted stamps, always liked them, love them, still love them from my very early days of scrapbooking. I've always loved them, and if I had to choose between them and clear ones, I would definitely choose the wood mounted ones. But yeah, not so easy to make placement when you're stamping with them. This one is called Solent Ships, which I've said already. Might take over a little bit extra of the space there. I should have got the S a little bit further over that way. Don't know if you can even read that, to be honest. I might have to raise it slightly. But then again, the top of that stamp is obviously stamped on the photo, so it's not on the pattern paper. Yeah, might just have to just let it go. This could be quite frustrating. Oh no, I know. Gesso, just gonna get some gesso. That S just went a little bit too high, didn't it? Can even see it on the photo, with the ink on the photo. Tiny bit of gesso. You can still see the blue at the bottom of the S, but once that's dry and I stamp it over again with the S, and with the full, you know, one loaded ink on the stamp, then it should be fine. So this one's called Dizzy Flights. See if we can make a better job of this one, shall we? Go a bit lower because I've got all this space, haven't I? Oh, I've got all that space and didn't utilise it very well. There you go. That's what happens when you don't think it through properly. Make that a bit closer because heights is quite a long word, isn't it? So it's really hard getting these in and out of here as well. Seemed like a good idea at the time. That's a little bit high. Dizzy heights. Lower, that's it. I'm using my stamps though, which is good. Even though it's my alpha set stamps that I use quite a lot, it's still stamping. Still using my stash. I could take them all out of the box and just set them on the table, but they get like out of sequence, and you have to put them all back in, and yeah, I'd rather do it this way. There, Dizzy Heights. Solent Ships, Dizzy Heights. I'm going to have a go doing that now. Is that the right way? Does it matter? That looks a bit better. I think you can read what it says. Chip, chip, hooray. I know that the sweet corn one and Moo Selfie, which is my favourite island one, have gone to a farm in Southampton. Because when I was just doing the research for this layout, I came across the post by the farm. I really wanted the Moo Selfie to want to stay on the island, but it didn't. Some of them didn't sell at the auction actually straight away. I think the minimum bid was, or the reserve was, £3,000 for the large ones. And I noticed on the day that some of them didn't sell, but I think some of them have since sold. But yeah, I would have loved one of them. Right, chip, chip, hooray. Ooh. Maybe I'll just leave it as chip, chip for now and go on to this one and call it treasures, because hooray is not going to fit there. And I don't think it really matters what they're called. Well, I mean, it does matter to the artist, obviously. But I don't think it really matters in the context of this layout, because in my Traveller's Notebook, which you would have already seen, I have put the map, and it does name them all, which, as I've just shown you on my spare one here. So I'll keep that probably in the, maybe in the album actually, with where these layouts are. I might slip it into one of the page protectors. And then obviously you'll be able to see, if you're looking through my layouts, you'll be able to see, pick up the map and have a look at that. So it will be documented somewhere. Right, treasures are, I'm using my Distress ink, Tim Holtz Ranger Distress ink in broken china. I do like the effect of distress ink. I like it a lot. It's not as noticeable when you're just stamping small letters like this, but yeah, I do like it. Now then, this is the octopus one, isn't it? And that's called How the Heck. So I will do that one. After this, I will stick a few things down, and I will do the rest of the stamping off camera. Add the journaling and what have you. The date is all different because, well, I'm just going to put August. Have I done that already? Yeah, I've done it already on the little, oh, I'm using another one of the oars, if that's what they're called. I used it in a previous layout. I thought, you know what, I'm going to use that one. I don't think there are any more. So the date was, it was sort of August, September, and these were taken on different days. So this one was, I went back to see them set up for the auction. This one was when I went to East Cowes to look at them, and the others I think were taken on the day I met Stephanie. But that, you know, that doesn't really, in a year's time or a few years' time, that won't matter, will it? The exact date, I mean, or when, you know, what day I went, or if it was a different day. How is that going to fit? I'm doing it better now. I'm placing it a little bit lower so you can see it better. I can probably, like I said already, I can probably move that one up, but I've already stamped it on photo slightly. So I think you can tell that says Solent Ships. I don't want to, I could re-stamp over it, or just sew it and re-stamp over it if I didn't like the look of it, but at the moment I'm just going to leave it as it is. Okay, so we've done a few, haven't we? I think what I'm going to do now is get some of these down. Now my title, I don't know if I've said that already. Oh, that's alive. It's going to be top 10. Not really my top 10, but it's my next top 10. So we won't nitpick. Just going to call it top 10. And I'm going to use these little Elle Studio Puffy Alpha stickers. There's not many left, and I'm quite happy actually that I'm getting another title out of them. So probably because there's no E or A in the lettering, and there is luckily a I've seen it already. Oh, it's there, look. I don't know whether I took it up and I was using it for something else and put it back, because it's not in the place it should be on the sticker sheet, but I'm glad I didn't use it for something else. The P is really big. I don't know why the P is so big. And then I'm going to put 10 underneath, and I think that I'm going to have to glue these down because they don't have a lot of sticky to them. So that's my idea there. Now then, let's have a go with these, shall we? I want this to go here, so perhaps that there, slightly over, not so it's not in a straight line with the pre-printed one. This one's pre-printed on the page. This foam sticker is a bit battered. I'm not sure why, but I was determined to use it. Not upside down though, obviously. And I thought about crossing it onto the photo. So I do like to you know, place things over, or like I do like to layer my placement of things. But in this case, I'm just going to, I think that looks better there. Okay, that one there. This one at the bottom here. This way over time, I am going to place that over onto the lighthouse slightly. Well, more than slightly, kind of halfway. And then I've got this lovely little seagull brad. I'm going to sit on the top of there, just like that. I've got this very tiny one. I'm not sure if there's any more lighthouses left now. There are some printed onto some of the embellishments, like this one here, beach day, but that's not really relevant to this layout. So I want to place this one slightly lower than this one, just to give that, you know, a little bit of differential. I'll try and do it straight though if I can. Don't want to bend it. Put it in the right place if we want it over slightly. I think that's those down. Now I've got these 3 little brads here. I'm going to place maybe one here, and one here, just next to my writing. I think I'll do the blue one there because I haven't got 3 different colours. You know, it's hard to place them. There's no way of getting away from the fact that 2 of them are the same colour, and that doesn't matter. That looks nice, I like that. Now then, what have we got going on here? We've got the red, blue, two large pieces. Well, the 2 pieces that are going at the bottom, I think. I haven't really got a plan apart from I don't want to see that crab. Fact, I think I'll put that crab at the bottom, the lighthouse with the crab at the bottom, and then we can layer on top of that, can't we? Have the oar. I need to put the oar in place as well. Might add a staple to that. A little bit of wet glue, dry glue. I didn't want that to happen, but I'll just fold it behind. I'm going to pop that here at the bottom, across to the right. Like that, and I'm going to add a staple to that for more, just for texture than anything, because I like the texture on my layouts. And then this one right over this side here, a little bit of layering of the other bits of fauna. Maybe I'll have the red over this side. Red over here, maybe going underneath that bit there, and then the blue here, like that. Got this beautiful whale, which is actually quite large, so it's going to take up more room, but it's the same blue as this one, so quite like those layered together. It would have been probably equally as nice if the red had been in between the two colours. But I'm then going to add this. So, oh, and then what I need to do is decide whether to use that baker's twine, and I've got a couple of those decorative brads to use, haven't I? This video is probably going to be quite long. Sorry about that. Placing down all the photos and all the bits and bobs, but we're nearly done. I'll do the journaling off camera. I'm on my own at home today because my husband has taken the doggies to the groomers, because I had my eye surgery on Wednesday, and today is Saturday, and it's a bit too soon for me to go out. What I thought I'd do here is cover that little badge, I don't know what it is, that little circular piece on there with this. Yes, it's too early for me to go out because I've just had my eye surgery. So yeah, there'll be no buddy barking in the background today. Doggies are not here. I do quite like to get a loop in my baker's twine when I use baker's twine. I've got to remember though that I'm doing the stamping there, aren't I? So I need it to be quite low down. Add a little bit of glue there, I think. I do like using my baker's twine. I don't think I've used it for a while actually. What I'll do later is stick everything down properly. Oh, there's too much glue for that bit there. Doesn't only need a little bit really. Hold it in place. Just concentrating. The only time I go quiet is when I'm concentrating. Do I want that to go over the whale or just around it? Maybe just around it like that, and then some here maybe. And then I can cut off the extra bits and add extra glue at the end. So when I got out the baker's twine to do the little tag up there, that's when I thought, oh, maybe I'll add a little bit more bold colour and all that as well. And yeah, I'm glad I did that. Now I like that. Look at that. So where are we? We've got, I might staple that twine down and cut the top. I might just leave that jutting out above the layout because it's in the top of the page protector, so it'll be fine. It's everything as I want it to be. I think it is. There you can see that little birdie there, so that's good. So all I've got to do now is go away and finish stamping the titles of these lighthouses. Add the journaling just to say that these were kind of my top 10, excluding the 2 main ones. And this one here, Beautiful Oceans, is, I'm not sure if I mentioned it already, but I think that was the most favourite one of the trail. Like, people absolutely loved that one, and I must admit when I first saw it, I thought it was amazing. But yeah, the Muse Selfie one and the Southampton one kind of picked it for me. But yeah, just amazing. I think probably the Muse Selfie, Simply Southampton, the Chip one, this one, and the Keeper one, I think are probably my top 5. Although I really like, when I went back to Southampton to see them in place for the auction, this one I really absolutely loved. This one caught my eye, and I didn't get a proper look at that one when I did the trail because it was near the ferry on the other side of the road, and my phone battery was dying, so I didn't want to take photos of it in case my battery died before I got home, because I just wanted to be able to use my phone. And yeah, so I'd seen it from across the road, and Stephanie sent me the photo actually, but I didn't have a close-up look of it, and it's just, I really like it. It's the ferry and everything, and the yachts, and then obviously you've got the ocean at the bottom there. So yeah, I really like that one. So which ones did I say? This one, and this one. Actually, you know what, I would probably choose that one over this one because it's like bold. I like things that are bold. Fish and chips, obviously I've got to choose because I like my fish and chip things. So yeah, enough of me waffling. Dates on here. I think I'll add another staple to the oar down here, just on that blue bit, and then I will go away, finish the stamping, do the journaling, take a photo, and pop that at the end of the video. So once again, thank you for joining me. Stay safe, take care, and I shall see you next time.